Politics has always been a bit of a rough and tumble type of career, but for a growing number of MPs, the tone of political discourse has changed, and not for the better. Incidents of harassment and threatening behavior are skyrocketing. One MP is speaking out about a recent instance of vandalism at her constituency office. CBC's Karina Roman has that.
So Julie Dzerowicz is the Liberal MP for Davenport in Toronto, and she discovered, actually coming back from an international travel, that her constituency office was vandalized in the wee hours of Tuesday morning. I believe we have a picture that was on social media showing it. And what reportedly happened is two people dressed in black vandalized the office. As you can see, it's saying, well, it's misspelled, but it's meant to say Rafa is burning, Toronto will too. She says that local police, hate crimes unit, the sergeant at arms, which is the person in charge of security for the House of Commons, have all been informed and are involved. She said that she considers this a threat, not just to her, but to her staff at the office. And she said that there's a difference between, peaceful protest and vandalism, and certainly a difference between, having an opinion and making people feel unsafe. Have a listen to what she had to say.
I might go grocery shopping. I might walk down the street. I will be called a genocidal murderer. You are threatening an MP when you do that. And so that is not just me. You could talk to any number of my colleagues. This is a big issue for a number of MPs. And I bet you it's not just within the Liberal team. I bet you it is happening right across all political parties.
Now, Dzerowicz sort of blames misinformation, disinformation for some of this. For example, she's one of two Liberal MPs who early on supported an arms embargo to Israel, but then, of course, gets this vandalism on her office. She also blames retweeting by some groups in a supportive manner, saying that, sort of spreads, support and even applause for such vandalism. Which encourages more of it. She said she doesn't want to have to ask for personal security, but it may get to that point. We do see, I should tell you, on the Hill here, there are MPs who definitely are from time to time given an RCMP detail. And so we're not talking about just party leaders because of this increase in threats. And she also said that, politicians and MPs sign up for hard conversations, but they don't sign up for personal threats or threats to their family or threats to their staff who are and certainly the staff doesn't sign up for that as well. And in terms of this particular vandalism in her office, she said, only a couple people are responsible for it, but a large contingency of her riding will feel the impact because obviously services will be impacted that she normally provides and that her staff provides to constituents.
So, Karina, how does this factor into the bigger picture conversation about harassment that's going on in politics right now?
Well, there is a study actually at a House of Commons committee, a workplace violence and harassment prevention study at the committee known as PROC. And yesterday, the sergeant at arms, this person who's in charge of House of Commons security, was testifying and said that the harassment of MPs from the public has jumped almost 800% in the last 5 years. Said it's mostly online, but it is also in person and at events, and that the number of files opened by his office about threats to MPs in 2019, the number of files opened was 8. In 2023, it was 530. So that just shows you the scope that's happening here. And another issue that has come up is not just public harassment and threats, but the relationship between MPs and harassment from MPs to other MPs, or the encouragement, sometimes online, by one party to push and maybe even cross the line online to other MPs of other parties. And so that has also come up, whether that encouragement is subtle or direct online. Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet addressed this yesterday, was asked about his own personal concerns about safety, but also says that in terms of that online trolling or pushing against other MPs of other parties. He says that's something the Bloc Québécois is not encouraged to engage in. Have a listen to what he had to say.
I have had all sorts of comments, kind of threats, insults on the social media many times, sometimes hundreds in one day. The truth is that in this parliament there are parties who use it, which use it. So I think something should be done, but it should start with ourselves.
Now, I should point out that there obviously is a workplace harassment policy that currently governs the House of Commons, but it actually governs the relationship between MPs and staff. It does not govern the relationship between or in between MPs. So that's also something that's being looked at this committee.
That's the CBC's Karina Roman.